Is anybody else like, I'm fine, but also like not doing very well?
I tell people I'm fine because what are they really gonna do if I'm not? Let's be real. If I actually say I'm falling apart, what happens next?
Only those of us with high-functioning anxiety really understand the silent struggle.
I tell people I'm fine because what are they going to do if I'm not? If someone asks me, are you doing okay? You seem a little down. What's wrong? What's going on? I just say, oh no, I'm fine. No worries. I'm good. Don't worry about it. I'm totally fine. Because there's nothing they're going to do about it.
Nobody is out here posting this on social media, okay? There's no trending hashtag for it, no viral moment, no news segment covering this kind of stuff, okay? Because the thing that I'm about to talk about here doesn't really make noise like how it's supposed to. It doesn't show up in the unemployment numbers or the stock market reports or the press briefings about how well the economy is doing. It happens behind closed doors. Parked cars before walking into work, in bathrooms at 2 o'clock in the morning, in silence between the moment you open your bank account and the moment you figure out how to make it work one more time. Americans are quietly falling apart, guys. And because it's quiet, nobody's really talking about it until now. Let me describe something that you probably know, okay? This might be some of y'all's lives already. These people show up to work every day, on time, professional, they answer emails, they hit their deadlines, they smile when somebody just asks you how your day's going. They say good, busy, you know how it is. Because that's just what you're supposed to say. You're supposed to say like, hey, I'm doing all right, I can't complain. But at nighttime, after the kids are in bed, or after the roommates go to their rooms, or after the apartment gets real quiet, they sit with numbers that don't really add up. They will stare at the ceiling that belongs to a landlord who just raised the rent once again. They run through the scenarios in their head trying to find the version of the math that works out, and they can't really find it out here anymore. They're not even dramatic about this stuff. They're not really asking for help. They're just quietly carrying something that was never supposed to be this heavy. And you probably know this person. Like I said, you might be this kind of person. And here's what makes this kind of falling apart so dangerous out here. It's because it's invisible. When something breaks loudly, the world will respond, okay? When something breaks quietly, it just keeps breaking. And the people around you have no idea because you've gotten so good at just hiding your emotions. You've gotten so good at holding it together on the outside that no one thinks to ask if you're even okay on the inside. We have built an entire culture out here in America around performing wellness, okay? We have built it around projecting strength, around never letting anyone see that you are struggling, because struggling means weakness, and weakness means that you won't get the promotion or keep the client or even maintain the relationships that your life depends on. So instead, people will just hide their emotions, they will swallow it up, pause. They push it down so far that they almost forget that it's there, okay? And until it isn't just financial stress anymore, until it's anxiety that won't turn off, until it's heaviness that follows them everywhere, until it's depression wearing the mask of exhaustion, wearing the mask of being a hard worker. That's what quiet falling apart looks like from the inside for many people. And I want to speak to the person that may be quietly falling apart right now if you're watching this video, okay? I'm talking about the people that cried in their car this week before going to work or getting back from their lunch break. I'm talking about the one who hasn't told their partner how bad it actually is because they don't want to add to the stress. I'm talking about the one who is lying awake right now, running numbers that don't work out no matter how many times you run them. Like, I see you guys. I truly understand what you are feeling because I used to be there. Not the version you show at work, not the version you perform on social media. I'm talking about the real version of you. The one who is exhausted and scared and trying so hard while still feeling like it isn't enough. You guys aren't broken, okay? You are a person who has been under enormous pressure for a very long time. With very little acknowledgement actually, and even less relief, the fact that you are still holding it together, the fact that you are still getting up and going to work is not a small thing at all. That takes the kind of strength that no one gives you credit for, because nobody knows that it's happening. I think that we have to stop rewarding the performance of being fine. We have to stop treating emotional survival as the standard we measure people against. We have to start creating space for the honest conversation out here, okay? The one where people get to say, hey, I'm not okay, and I haven't been for a while, and I don't know how much longer I can keep this going. Because that conversation is happening everywhere, in private and in silence. It's happening in parked cars at 2 a.m., bathrooms, and behind smiles that took everything they had to put on that morning. Americans are truly, quietly falling apart out here. And the least that we could do is make enough noise about it that they know that they're not alone.
Is anybody else like, I'm fine, but also like not doing very well? But like I'm okay. Like you don't have to like stress about it. But also like I'm really not doing well. But like it's okay. You know, like I'll survive, I think.
I'm fine, because what are they going to do if I'm not? If someone asks me, are you doing okay? You seem a little down. What's wrong? What's going on? I just say, oh no, I'm fine. No worries. I'm good. Don't worry about it. I'm totally fine. Because there's nothing they're going to do about it. Like, sure, am I lying a little bit? Yes. But at the end of the day, like, these people, they don't actually want to help. A lot of times it's like your coworkers, and they're just asking to be nice. And then you have to go through a whole story. And I don't like hearing those whole stories from my coworkers either. So like at the end of the day, it's just easier. It saves me time. It saves me energy. It saves me effort. I don't have to go through everything, tell them all the backstory, give them the lore. So I just say I'm fine. No worries. It's a lot easier. It saves everybody time. And then we don't have to go through it. So they should be thanking me because I'm not telling them why I'm sad. I'm not trauma dumping or anything like that. And honestly, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter because what are they going to do? I tell them about it. They feel bad. Maybe they can relate to it a little bit. But at the end of the day, they're not going to do anything with me. They're not living with me, right? They're not my best friend. So they're not going to do anything. Maybe sometimes with your friends, your significant other, you'll tell them, you'll give them insights, obviously. But there's going to be times where you just say, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. And you just got to put your head down and figure it out. Lock in. Stop complaining. Stop overreacting. And you'll figure it out. Because honestly, not that many people are actually going to be able to help you. And you just got to do it yourself.
I tell people I'm fine because what are they really going to do if I'm not? Let's be real. If I actually say I'm falling apart, what happens next? Are you going to fix the economy? Are you going to pay my rent? Are you going to heal my childhood trauma between your coffee order and mine? No. You're just going to be with, man, that's crazy. And then ask if I've seen the new season of whatever you're watching on Netflix. Okay, so that's why I'm fine is the safest answer. Okay, it's not complete honesty, but it's practicality. Okay, it's me sparing both of us the awkward silence that follows if I start telling you the truth about my life. Okay, because the truth is messy. The truth is I'm tired, overwhelmed, and spiraling at 3 a.m. like it's a hobby. Okay, but you can't handle the truth right now. Okay, you got brunch plans. So yeah, I'm fine. Okay, not because I am, but because what's the alternative? Group therapy at the checkout line, a mental breakdown at the diner, me crying next to the avocados at the supermarket. Nah, we're all fine. It's the only socially acceptable lie left.
What does the next decade look like with the generation of young men coming up trying to work their ass off that aren't seeing anything? The amount of people that are working hard, doing everything they can to put food on the table, put a roof over their head, provide for them and their family, even just them and their wife and their husband, whoever, is now in a world where if they work harder, they're not making enough money. And when they're not making enough money, they're being told it's because they're not working hard enough. They were able to do it. Grandma was able to do it. Uncle was able to do it. Sister-in-law was able to do it. Why can't you do it? Huh? You must not be working hard enough. You must not be doing it right. You need to stop being lazy. Pick yourself up by the bootstraps. What's the mental health of this country going to look like in the next decade if this continues? We already have the highest level of mental health, lowest levels of mental health amongst the Gen Z and young millennials that I believe historically has ever been registered. I don't know how long we've been studying that, but it's not good. Since COVID, it's not good. And now we're in a world where you have to make $128,000 to live comfortably in a home in America, according to the Wall Street Journal, where you have to make over $100,000 just to get to the point, honestly, if you're in a relationship with a home to cover your bills. Not thriving, not saving, not investing, not growing, not gaining assets, not facilitating a lifestyle that you're going to be proud of in the land of opportunity with your hard workedness. No, you'd be getting by. And I'm just going to be very real with you. As a real estate agent who was doing this for 8 years now, I served in the military. I went overseas. I fought in Afghanistan. I did the thing for this country. I'm sick. I'm sick of what this country is doing right now. Continuing to gaslight this next generation into thinking the opportunity is still there. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, the land of opportunity is not opportune right now. If you are looking in the mirror at yourself wondering what you're doing wrong, let me look into your camera and tell you you're not. Let me tell you, there are so many millions of young, hardworking men and women in our country right now that are not reaping the benefits that the past generations reaped. You are not dumb. You are not non-special. You are not doing it wrong. You are working hard, 40, 50, 60 hours, you and your significant other, maybe hundreds of hours of work a week within your household, and you still feel like you can hardly afford to raise your child? That's not fair. And no, I'm not a socialist, Marxist, communist, blah, blah, blah. It's simply not fair. I understand we're in a free market. I understand capitalism means work hard, get money, have all this opportunity to do something with your life because you have this freedom. This freedom. We always have freedom. Oh, free market, capitalism, yay, money. 74.6% of the money is in the top 10%'s hands. 32% of it's in the top 1%'s hands. I believe it's over a 0.25% in the top 0.1%. I just don't see what the next decade looks like if this continues. If nothing systemically shifts, if nobody actually makes change, if the political system of blue and red keep us fighting, oh my gosh, that person's right, no, that person's right, no, you're a racist, no, you're a liberalist, no. And then they give you all your sports teams, and they give you your Netflix subscription, and they give you all of these things that keep us entertained, and all these, I just find myself now I'm a huge sports fan, by the way. Every commercial I'm seeing alcohol, sexual immorality, and gambling. Alcohol, sexual immorality, and gambling. And then I get to a game, and then in the game, they're like, hey, you should gamble more of your money. Hey, you should bet on this. Hey, you should do that. All just to get us to argue about which team is better, because my team is better than your team. And that gives us some water cooler talk to get us past our 9 to 5 and our 40-hour work week to continue to be the ants of the colony that keep everything rolling. It just seems like more and more the opportunity to escape the working class slavery that we are put into by the billionaires and trillionaires of our world is becoming inescapable. What will be the effects of what we're going through right now? I don't claim to know what that result is going to be, but I'm just going to go out and flat say it. I don't believe things like home prices have a chance of crashing. In fact, if you were to tell me, do you think home prices will crash or do you think home prices will double? I think home prices double much more easy than home prices crashing. And you say, why do you talk about home prices? Well, because that is the gateway drug to wealth in America. If you don't own assets, you will never get your ass in a class that you want to be a part of. You will never escape being broke. Guess what the net worth difference between homeowners and non-homeowners is in America? $396,000 average median net worth of somebody who owns a home. $10,000 average median net worth of someone who doesn't own a home. Asset ownership is the key to unlocking equity, which is unlocking wealth for you and the rest of your family. If you don't have it, you won't grow. And if you can't get into your first one, you'll never start the snowball. And if you got to make 128 grand to get into your first one with you and your friend, or you and your wife, you and your 2 kids, whoever the situation is, then I don't think that we're in a land of opportunity when the average median wage of an individual worker is about $47,000, $75,000 for a household. I'm worried.
One of my coworkers killed herself a few months ago. She was very depressed about her bills, etc. Well, first of all, my condolences to you. Losing a coworker like that, especially in that way, is very tragic. Second of all, this is a sad reality that a lot of people are dealing with. A lot of people's mental health is strongly being affected by bills, by lack of income, by the cost of living. There are people who really don't want to live on this earth anymore, who really want to take matters into their own hands, unfortunately. That's why I hate when people say money can't buy happiness, because I get it. Money can't buy happiness. But here's the thing. I would rather be depressed with disposable income in my bank account than be depressed with no disposable income in my bank account. So my condolences to this woman's family, and to everyone out there who may be thinking about taking matters into their own hands. I wouldn't recommend it, but at the same time, I do understand, because times are hard. Life is difficult. So I wouldn't recommend it, but I understand. Can't talk.
Only those of us with high functioning anxiety really understand the silent struggle. This is the part that nobody else sees. This is smiling on the outside, but overthinking every single conversation. And showing up for everybody, but also being so alone in your own head. This is also telling everybody that you're fine, you're good. But really, in a way, you're not, because you're not breathing fully, sleeping deeply, or truly resting, because your mind is just so busy all the time. And this is keeping it all together on the outside while quietly falling apart on the inside. This is high functioning anxiety. It's invisible, it's exhausting, and most people really have no idea. I'm just here to tell you, you're not dramatic, you're not weak, nothing is wrong with you, and you're not alone. You're in the right place. So make sure you follow along for more tips.
It's hard to be positive when all you do is work, but you have nothing to show for it. Hard to have a life savings. You know, I have kids and I pay child support on my own. We don't have a court order. I just pay it because it's my kids. I don't understand how people cannot pay child support or want to pay it if they made the kid. But anyway, working every day and you have nothing. You still can't save money. How does it work, man? It's depressing. You get up, go to work, get your check, and it's gone. Things are expensive in this world today. How does a person keep moving forward when you know that's how it's going to be? There's nothing you can do except keep going, keep paying bills, and stay broke. It shouldn't be like that. It's unfair.
So, I'm 50, and I'm more financially broke than I've been at any time in my life, which is very depressing, especially given everything that I've accomplished and been through. It seems like it's all for nothing, because I'm back to square one, so to speak. So, you know, doing the workouts and the push-ups and the walks have really helped my mental state. But I noticed that when I start to face the financial reality, I default to old ways of like escaping and being moody and lack of presence and all that. I guess to avoid the feelings of inadequacy and the sadness that comes along with not being able to solve this shit fast enough. So I guess just sharing this right now helps me not let it define me, if that makes sense, because I'm speaking about it and getting it out. It still sucks. I still feel like crap about it when I can walk in the house and face my family. But these little daily routines are definitely helping me stabilize my mindset and have some moments of clarity so I can figure out how to break through. That's it.
Does anyone actually have the will to live in 2026? Because it just seems like there is no incentive to continue on and to keep fighting. Like, we can work our asses off and we still can't afford rent. We can't even afford our car note at this point. I just don't understand, like, why we're putting in all this effort when the fruits of our labor are rotten by the time we go to harvest them. It's like we're doing all of this for absolutely nothing. There is no harvest. We are not reaping what we sow. We are just in the field like donkeys, hacking the ground that's completely dry, that will yield absolutely nothing. It's like the fields that were once abundant for our ancestors are now absolutely empty, and we're expected to till and manage the same fields that cannot sustain life anymore, metaphorically, obviously. I'm just wondering if there's actually anyone out there that has the will to live these days, because it literally seems like there is no incentive to continue on this existence. What do you guys think?
You know what? They keep saying that we're in the age of disclosure, and I think that they're right. But I think we also need to start disclosing something else, like on a personal level. Like, I think more people, especially Americans, need to start disclosing how much they are struggling financially. Like, I made a video yesterday talking about how this is my first job that I've been able to land since November of last year. I'm not full time. That job is not full time. It is $19 an hour. It is 32 hours a week. My lease renewal, I've got my third notification about my lease renewal. I cannot afford to renew this lease, and I also can't afford to move, because if you move, what do you got to do? Deposit, admin fee, application fee, paying for the moving truck, taking time off of work, all this extra stuff that you have to pay for. I cannot afford to do either one. And a lot of people are in this position right now. A lot of people cannot find a job. And it's not because there's like just a natural scarcity when it comes to job. It is a manufactured scarcity. They're not hiring anyone. They're cutting 90% of their workforce and getting the remaining 10% to do the work of the other 90% while not increasing their pay. The cost of everything is going up, but everybody keeps reporting record profits. Nobody can afford to pay their workers a livable wage, but everybody has record profits. But you know who does get paid? The shareholders, who do absolutely nothing for the company. This is the state of the economy right now. Like, this is a reality. This is real. And this is where we all are. It's a lot more people that are just too embarrassed to say. You should never be embarrassed about what this system has done to you. Because I'm not.